fine. Thanks for staying with us. It's still the conversation. And as Abimbola said earlier, we have two conversations on the side of a table. And we'll be starting with the first one, which is emotional intelligence and social interactions. Emotions drive decisions, they shape relationships, they influence leadership, parenting, friendships, and even conflict. But how well do we truly understand our emotions, and more importantly, how well do we manage them? Joining us to answer these questions and more is Vivian Ogene. She's the founder of Masterminds Community Foundation. You're welcome.
Thank you, Mark. Happy
Just
to be here.
Same here. Just before we came on air, I was asking you that, look, how important, or how relevant is emotional intelligence? What does it mean to be emotionally intelligent?
It's simple. For you to be emotionally intelligent, it means that you are aware of your emotions. So it means you're recognizing your emotions, you're learning how to manage them, and managing the emotions of others. And what does that for you is that you're being intentional in terms of character, in terms of behavior, and in terms of how you relate with others.
Okay, when you say managing your emotions, what is the relationship between emotion itself, or being emotional, and emotional intelligence?
Okay, being emotions are the things we get to feel on a daily basis, and it's normal.
Okay.
You get to be angry.
Okay.
You get to be happy. You get to be impulsive, right? But it is how you react to these emotions when they come in the heat of the moment.
Okay.
Let's take for instance, you're angry.
Okay.
What do you do in that place when you're angry? How are you reacting to that anger?
Okay.
Are you calm? Are you impulsive? Or you're being reactive? So most of the time, if you're emotionally intelligent, you will be aware of your emotions.
Okay.
And you also be aware of the emotions of others in terms of, I will understand your disposition at the time, and that will determine how I respond to you.
Okay, talking about how we react, to a situation. Some people are just naturally calm, no matter how tense they are, no matter how angry they are, no matter what situation they find themselves or people puts them, they're usually calm, while some will always react, the other way. Emotional intelligence, are you born with it, or it can be learnt?
That's a very beautiful question. Emotional intelligence is a skill and it can be learned. You can develop it as time goes on. And how do you develop it? Is you being self-aware, is you taking ownership of their emotions. Like being self-aware, oh, what am I feeling? Ownership, oh, why am I feeling this way?
Okay.
And then that's where empathy also comes in. You get to understand the emotions of others, right? And then that's where social skills also comes in. If I understand you very well correctly, and I know how you feel and validate your feeling in our relationship or in our interactions, it will bring calmness and defensiveness, because sometimes, most of the times when we are arguing is only from a place that I must win this argument. Yes, I have to win this argument. It's not for a place of trying to understand or trying to listen. We don't listen.
Some people just listen to react, not listen to understand.
Exactly.
Okay. So when should emotional intelligence now start? Since you called it a skill, so is it as a time when we are children and our parents start to nurture it, or when you become an adolescent, or when you become an adult, so that when you're faced with different situations, at what point do you start to acquire that skill?
So emotional intelligence can actually be picked from the home. We mean parenting. There are intentional parenting that people have put in place, and emotions is not something we're not taught in school. Nobody taught us how this is how you manage your emotions, but we're taught how to read and write, right? And these emotions are signals, and when they come it is the ability for us to understand and interpret them. And how do we learn them? Is we being aware of them, we taking charge of that emotion at every given time to say, how am I feeling today? And why do I react? You know, some people will say, that's who I am. I'm temperamental.
Yes, because
I'm hot-tempered.
I want to say that, you know, does emotional intelligence always mean that you should be calm?
No, emotional intelligence, what it means that it's just you being aware, and when you're being aware, you're going to be calm. So let's do a practical example.
Okay, please. I need to understand this.
You're my boss, and you're wired to be a high flyer, meaning you're firing red, or you're interested in result, and you don't even care how I go about the result. And you go, Vivian, I demand you to do X, Y, Z. Right? You've just spoken because all you believe is the result.
Oh, it gets the job done.
Exactly. But if getting the job done is one thing, but how I get the job done is also, you also care about it. That's where you show me that
caring,
emotion.
It will slow down work.
No, it doesn't work that way.
Okay,
you caring doesn't necessarily mean, it means you care from a place of validation.
Okay.
When your employee feels that you validate them, you care for them, they will go extra mile in putting things that you don't even send. They'll be proactive in their thinking. Okay. It won't be follow the rules, comply. It will be creativity. It will be innovation when people feel loved, when people feel held. So when I say emotional intelligence is you being calm, I'm saying just try to just understand your emotions and understand the emotions of others. And you relate with them better, and you get a better result in doing that.
Okay, why do people, since you've tried to clarify that, you know, emotional intelligence is not always about calmness, it's about, you know, being wise in managing situations. Sure. So why is it that people are always, you know, struggling? Why do they always struggle to manage anger, you know, situations like jealousy, and of course insecurity?
I think the reason why people do that is because they don't know thyself. Self-awareness is very key, and it's the foundation of emotional intelligence.
But as a person, you have the right to feel jealous. You have the right to these feelings.
It's normal.
Okay.
Because our brain is wired to have that emotional thought or that emotional feelings, and that's why I said emotions are signals.
Okay.
They send you message on a daily basis.
Okay.
But it is how you react, how you name those emotions when they come.
Okay.
Right? And how you constructively respond to them in a healthy way. That's what makes you an emotional intelligent person.
Okay, give me an example on how to manage, you know, a jealous woman who her husband married, you know, or brings in a new wife, because we need to be very, very practical here. Yeah,
I agree. So in that context, this is what is going on. When a woman is jealous, right, it's what the woman is actually asking is validation, right? A woman is jealous because her husband brings a new wife. The first thing is for the husband now, who perhaps we're painting that he has emotional intelligence, to sit his wife down to say, okay, I get you're jealous because there is a woman on this other side. But sometimes if the why behind the jealousy, if it's understood, it makes the conversation, instead of being reactive, it will now become a conversation of positivity. The woman will say, oh, why are you cheating? Or why did you bring another wife? Oh, I brought another wife because of XYZ, XYZ. Name it. And then the woman will say, okay, why am I even jealous? Am I jealous because this person is going to take my position? Am I jealous this person is going to reduce the fund in the house? Am I jealous this person is going to take the time?
Am I jealous this person looks better than I do? Or younger than I am?
Exactly the point, right?
So they're different reasons.
You have to name what exactly you're feeling at that time. And most of the time, when you name them and you label those emotions, what it does for you is that it helps you to understand better. To see that this thing is not really as bad as I think. Yes, it's just it's just my perception or my interpretation or the way I understood the conversation at that moment.
Okay.
And that's why it's very important, the need for pausing. That's
just pause.
5 minutes.
Just pause. Take that pause. Okay.
Pause. Take a deep breath before you react. When we are in that calm state of our mind, we tend to say things in a more calmer way. But when I'm hot in the heat of the moment, I say things in regret that when I'm in my calmer spirit, like, I think I spoke too much. Maybe I would have been more calmer. Maybe, and then that's where you start feeling, because reflection is taking place. And then sometimes, for those that also are well, they will take the bold step to apologize.
Okay, so we're taking this emotional intelligence situation away from the home or from one marriage. Now we're going back to the workplace, and you know, you created a scenario earlier on about one's boss, you know, making sure the work is done. What are the signs of an emotionally intelligent boss?
Okay, an emotional intelligence boss.
What are the signs?
Be empathic towards an individual.
Okay.
It will have concern. It will show careness. Getting the job done is one thing, but how the job is get done, they will also be interested, because they will be involved in the process.
Okay.
Just imagine me working for you and you say, Vivian, I got you. We are in this together. When you have any challenges, all you just need, I'm a phone call away. Or, you know,
or just come to me.
Just come to me and we'll talk about it.
Okay.
What you have done for me is that you've given me a leeway to say, I am free to come and have a conversation. So you give me a task and I'm having challenges with it. I am not worried, or I am not scared. I'm like, if I go and meet her, how is she going to perceive me? Will she think less of me, or she would think, well, will she say I'm not capable? Okay. But you're saying, Vivian, we are a strategic partner. We're going to win together. We're going to do this together. So you would hand me and you're putting me through. And that's the way I feel safe. And that's where I will experience psychological safety.
So how does it, so how does this now affect workplace productivity?
What it does, trust me, emotional intelligence, what it does, it will boost productivity. IQ will get you into the door, into the room, into that workplace. But what will sustain you is your ability on how you manage the emotions of people you're working with and how people emotionally connect with you per time. That will determine the growth of the organization.
But sometimes, aside emotional intelligence, does the boss also have the right to say, oh, look here, this job must not fail. I want it this way. And then later come back to say, oh, you know, maybe give you a pat on the back for a job well done. Is that part of emotional intelligence?
Yes, that's it.
Even after screaming his head off over you, on you?
Yes, so some people... Some people do that. Okay. Some people think when they speak calmly, the job will not be get done. So I think it's just about perception. Some people, they need to be on the high tone, or they need to create fear. That's when the job will get done. Some people will say the carrot and the stick, whichever one goes. Exactly. But so it is actually an individual thing. Some people think it's by collaborating with the individual, that's where there will be growth. So it is a personal thing, and that's why I said it is a skill set, and it's a soft skill that is learnable. You could develop it with time, but the word is you have to be intentional, intentional in your communication. Because even if you want the job to be done, you want to have it's a job that is well done with excellence. Okay. It's not just doing the job. Oh, he asked me to do the job and I've done the job. There are people like that. But you give some people the job and they are very creative. And you're like, oh, spontaneous. I didn't think in this way. Wow, that's brilliant. Because you've empowered the person to do the job, right? But if it was a case of a toxic environment, the person will just do the job, comply. But the person is not connecting to the job. And people do what they enjoy doing, and you will see the best in it at the end of the day.
Okay, we're moving our discussion to social media now, and the youth, you know, these days of instant gratification, instant response on social media. Does social media thrive on, we know it thrives on instant, of course, reactions, as I mentioned earlier. Is it weakening emotional control here?
No, so I honestly think that for people
because of the instant response, instant gratification, the likes, you know, the responses.
For you to actually be in a media space, you have to be emotionally resilient. If you're not emotionally resilient, there's a likelihood you're going to break down and you react in a negative way, because the ability for you to control those shades when it comes, it takes maturity, and it takes you applying wisdom in that phase of time, in that heat of that moment. Because yes, like you said, is an instant gratification, and somebody posts something and you checking in, checking out, nobody has liked it.
Only have one like.
Nobody
one like.
Nobody has
in how many minutes? In many hours?
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's 1 hour. It's 24 hours. It's 2 days. You know, so those emotions will come. But the thing is, when you start whatever it is you're sharing on the public, what is the why behind it?
What is the why?
The why behind it, what you're sharing. If it's from a point of you're trying to share an information or you're trying to communicate an information, just know that you've done it already. The people that needs those information, the algorithms will send it to them, and they will definitely value. Some people read some things they may not necessarily like or share, but trust me, you've communicated.
Someone like me, I always even forget to like.
Exactly.
I always forget to like,
comments.
or because sometimes I get carried away by the content, so I forget to even like.
Okay, so an individual has to come to that space where they get that maturity to say, this thing I've shared, it might just be for one soul, and for that one soul, I am glad.
So, you know, someone has
rather
taken
than
something.
Looking like, oh, he has to be 1,000 likes, he has to be 20 comments on all of that. That's where you get the validation.
You know, for more likes, for more likes, for some people, it means, you know, some gratification in monetary gratifications for them. So that is why sometimes they are like that, and you know, they break down when they don't have enough likes. So let's go to, you know, comments now on social media. There's this particular social media app that is so toxic, you know, that the way the responses, the comments that you get from there is always more toxic than positive comments. So how do parents now, because this is the world we're in, it's a world now that our own parents, you know, are not used to. So we new parents now, how do we start to now raise emotional, intelligent children? Because they are the ones on these apps, you know, writing those comments, hurting people.
Yeah.
So how do parents, you know, now start to raise emotional children? Or emotionally intelligent children, sorry.
Okay. I think that's a good question. And the way parents can do that is we need to make intentional effort to be involved in the lives of our children. It is something that is our responsibility, and we have to be intentional about it, what they do in that social media spaces, right? And it's something that if we have system in place to checkmate them. So there are some app, if your child is on any of the app, you have control. You get to see it on your phone. You get to see what they are commenting on, what they are watching, who is talking to them. You get to checkmate them. You can even get to even lock some access to say, no, you can't go into this, but you can go into this, right? And we were talking before we started. That's where the whole idea of us coming up to say, hyper catching them young. And that was where the foundation thought of to say, you know what? I remember when I was growing up, if I had this opportunity, the way I've been told I need to read my books, I need to learn how to write. If I was given the opportunity, I also need to understand my emotions. Maybe somehow, right? I would have been even more better than what I am today.
Thank
right?
you very much, Vivian. We have to go now.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Vivian Ogene. Emotional intelligence is not about suppressing emotions. We need to understand. It's not about suppressing emotions. It's about understanding them and responding wisely. Wisdom comes to play here. Anytime you feel traumatized or angry or, you know, a certain way that makes you uncomfortable, just take that pause before you react. Again, thank you very much, Vivian Ogene, founder, Masterminds Community Foundation, and we've been discussing emotional intelligence and social interactions.